Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most valuable resource we have, yet many of us spend it on things that do not serve our growth. Every day you have a choice: invest in becoming who you want to be, or let your energy leak into distractions and external noise. If you want to change your life, you must focus on yourself. No one is coming to save you. It's your responsibility to harness your power and direct it where it matters most. Stop giving attention to what others are doing. Stop worrying about what they think of you. Instead, turn inward. The life you desire isn't out there waiting for you, it's inside you, waiting to be unlocked. But that won't happen unless you stop wasting time. You can either evolve or remain stuck. Time doesn't wait, and every moment spent chasing meaningless things takes you further away from who you are meant to become. The power to change your life lies within your focus, and your focus must be directed on one thing: yourself. Every thought you think, every feeling you cultivate, and every belief you hold sends a signal out into the world and within yourself. Your mind is like a lens, and whatever you place your attention on, that lens magnifies. The energy you invest, whether in thoughts, actions, or emotions, becomes the foundation of your experience. What you feed with your focus will grow stronger and shape the direction of your life. If your attention is locked on fear, worry, or doubt, you amplify those emotions. You start noticing more reasons to be anxious, and situations that mirror your inner chaos begin to show up. On the other hand, when your attention shifts toward possibilities, gratitude, and personal growth, your energy begins to align with those states. It's not just about positive thinking, it's about understanding that where your awareness goes, energy flows, and what you repeatedly focus on becomes a habit of being. Most people scatter their attention throughout the day. They think about what's going wrong, what others are doing, or what might happen tomorrow. That energy is lost in fragments, like a leaking faucet that never fills the glass. When you spread your attention thin across too many things, especially things beyond your control, you lose the ability to create meaningful change. But when you focus with intention on something meaningful, your energy becomes concentrated, like a laser cutting through glass. That kind of focused energy has the power to create momentum and reshape your reality. Your life right now is the result of where you've placed your attention over time. Patterns of thought become routines, and those routines create the conditions you experience daily. If you want different results, you have to shift your attention to new things. You have to focus on what serves you, not what drains you. That focus doesn't just alter what you think, it changes how you feel, and how you feel drives your behavior. The mind can only process so much information at once, so every moment offers a choice. Will you invest your attention in fear or in growth? Will you dwell on what went wrong, or will you place your energy on what's possible next? Wherever your focus goes, your energy follows, and with enough time, that focus will become your reality. You can't expect to build a new future if your attention is tied to the past. To change your life, you must first change what you focus on. In the end, your attention is the most powerful tool you have. When you align it with what you desire and refuse to let it wander toward distractions, you harness the energy required to create meaningful transformation. What you give your attention to will either build you or break you, so choose wisely. You are always one focused thought away from shifting your entire experience. Comparison is a silent thief that drains your energy without you even noticing. When you compare yourself to others, you shift your attention away from your own path and place it on someone else's journey. Every time you measure your progress against another person's life, you're giving away your power, fragmenting your focus, and disconnecting from the essence of who you are. What we often forget is that no two people are on the same path. The circumstances that shape someone else's success or struggles are not yours. But when you compare, you create a mental illusion that the other person's achievements are somehow a reflection of your shortcomings. You attach your self-worth to someone else's timeline, which pulls you out of alignment with your own. This misalignment creates frustration, jealousy, or feelings of inadequacy, emotional states that drain your energy and stall your growth. Comparison keeps you locked in a state of lack. When your mind is occupied with what you think you're missing, it reinforces the belief that you aren't enough. You begin chasing validation outside of yourself, hoping to keep up with people who are running a completely different race. The energy that could be fueling your growth is now spent in mental loops of why am I not where they are, or what do they are, or what do they have that I don't. This drains your focus and keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. The truth is, comparison distracts you from your power. Your unique journey unfolds at its own pace, and no one else's progress has anything to do with yours. But every time you look to others for a sense of where you should be, you abandon the present moment, the only space where you can actually create change. When your mind is fixated on someone else's achievements, you miss opportunities that are meant for you. You can't grow into your potential while trying to fit into someone else's mold. Reclaiming your energy means bringing your attention back to yourself. It means trusting that your path is unfolding exactly as it needs to, even if it looks different from others. The only meaningful competition is with the person you were yesterday, and the only measure of success is how aligned you are with your purpose. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, comparison loses its grip. There is incredible freedom in realizing that you don't need to be better than anyone else, only better than you were before. When you release the need to compare, your energy flows back to where it belongs within you. From that place of wholeness, you can cultivate the patience, resilience, and clarity needed to move forward on your own path. Comparison is a distraction. Your power lies in self-mastery. And the moment you stop comparing, you start thriving. Every day, life offers you a blank canvas, a fresh opportunity to create yourself anew. The past does not define you unless you allow it to. Each morning brings with it the chance to shed old habits, release limiting beliefs, and step into a new version of yourself. The beauty of this truth is that no matter where you've been, no matter what mistakes you've made, you can choose to evolve today. The only thing holding you back from transformation is the belief that you are stuck. But you are never truly stuck, only waiting for the moment you decide to change. Evolution doesn't happen in giant leaps, it happens in small, consistent steps. Every choice, every thought, every intention shapes who you are becoming. Even the smallest shift matters because your future self is built from the choices you make today. When you begin to understand that every day holds this potential, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start viewing them as invitations to grow. Struggles are not barriers but catalysts, urging you to become more resilient, more aware, and more aligned with who you are meant to be. Many people carry the weight of their past into every new day, reliving the same thoughts and repeating the same behaviors. But nothing changes if you keep bringing yesterday into today. You can evolve the moment you decide to let go of the stories that no longer serve you. Your identity is not fixed, it is fluid. And with each new sunrise, you are given the chance to write a new narrative, think new thoughts, and embody new emotions. You are not obligated to be the person you were yesterday. Growth doesn't require you to be perfect, it only requires you to be present. Evolution isn't about achieving some grand destination, it's about moving forward, even if the steps are small. Some days may feel like breakthroughs and others may feel like setbacks, but both are part of the process. What matters is that you remain open, curious, and willing to grow, no matter what unfolds. Each day you wake up is another chance to align your actions with your higher self, to live with more purpose, and to make choices that reflect the person you are becoming. The power lies in your hands, right here, right now. It's easy to get caught up in regrets about what you didn't do or anxiety about how far you still have to go. But the only thing that matters is what you do today. Every moment spent in alignment with your growth, no matter how small, creates momentum. And as that momentum builds, transformation becomes inevitable. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Your evolution is a journey, not a race. Some days will feel easy, and others may demand everything from you, but the process is always worth it. Growth is not about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering the fullest expression of who you already are. And every day you choose to evolve, you move closer to that truth. There is infinite potential within you waiting to be activated. The only question is, will you embrace today as a new chance to step into it? External validation is one of the most subtle yet powerful traps that can enslave the mind. It pulls you away from your inner truth and conditions you to seek approval from sources that are fleeting and beyond your control. The moment you start relying on others for validation, you give away your power. You begin living not for yourself, but for the opinions, judgments, and expectations of others. And with every attempt to please, to prove, or to gain recognition, you drift further from your authentic self. At its core, the need for external validation stems from a belief that you are not enough as you are. It convinces you that your worth must be measured by someone else's standards, whether it's through praise, attention, or social acceptance. But the more you seek approval from outside, the more you condition yourself to feel empty without it. It's a cycle that never satisfies because external validation is temporary, unpredictable, and entirely outside of your control. You become trapped, constantly chasing validation that vanishes the moment you grasp it, like a mirage in the desert. True fulfillment comes from within, but external validation distracts you from that truth. When you let others define your value, you hand them the keys to your happiness and peace. Their opinions become the mirror through which you view yourself, and when they change or fade, you are left questioning your worth. This dependency creates emotional instability, leaving you vulnerable to the highs and lows of other people's reactions. And as long as your sense of self is tied to how others see you, you remain disconnected from the one place where real power resides within. The most dangerous part of this trap is how easily it becomes a habit. You may not even realize how often you look for signs of approval, whether it's through social media likes, compliments, or subtle nods of acceptance. But the more you rely on external signals to feel validated, the more you weaken your connection to your own inner guidance. You lose the ability to trust yourself, and in that disconnection, you also lose your clarity, creativity, and freedom to live authentically. Freedom begins when you recognize that your worth has nothing to do with anyone else's opinion. You are already complete, already whole, and nothing outside of you can add or take away from that truth. The validation you seek must come from within, from knowing that you are living in alignment with your values, from the quiet confidence that comes from honoring your own path. When you no longer need others to tell you who you are, you reclaim the energy that was lost chasing their approval. This shift is powerful. When you stop seeking validation from the outside, you start living with integrity. Your choices become guided by what feels right for you, not by what you think will impress or please others. You become free to explore, create, and grow without the burden of meeting anyone else's expectations. And in that freedom, you discover a deeper sense of fulfillment, a kind of peace that no amount of external validation can offer. The truth is, the approval you are seeking from others is something you can give yourself right now. It begins by embracing who you are, flaws and all, without apology or explanation. It's about knowing that your value is inherent, not something that needs to be earned or proven. When you stop chasing external validation, you free yourself from the trap. You step into your own power, and in doing so, you finally discover the truth: you were enough all along. Distractions are not just nuisances, they are barriers that block the flow of your energy and keep you from living in alignment with your true potential. Every moment of your attention is precious. It's the currency you use to create your reality. But when your focus is fragmented by distractions, whether they come from your environment, technology, or your own mind, you lose the ability to be fully present. And without presence, your growth, creativity, and power become diluted. Distractions are seductive because they offer short-term relief from discomfort. They give the illusion of productivity or satisfaction, pulling your mind into endless loops of entertainment, scrolling, or multitasking. But beneath that surface lies a cost. Each time you allow yourself to be pulled away from what truly matters, you give away a part of your energy. That energy could have been used to build something meaningful, deepen your understanding, or nurture your well-being, but instead it gets scattered and lost. The greatest challenge is that distractions are not always obvious. They sneak in under the guise of small habits: checking your phone out of boredom, browsing aimlessly, or saying yes to commitments that drain your energy. These little diversions accumulate, consuming your mental bandwidth and pulling you off course. And the more fragmented your attention becomes, the harder it is to achieve clarity and momentum in your life. You may find yourself busy, yet unfulfilled, doing much but accomplishing little. Cutting out distractions is not just about reducing noise, it's about reclaiming your power. When you eliminate what is unnecessary, you create space for what truly matters. You shift from being reactive to being intentional, focusing on the things that move you closer to your goals and deeper into alignment with who you want to become. This isn't about rigid discipline, but about becoming conscious of how you spend your energy. It's about asking yourself, does this action serve my growth, or does it drain my potential? To cut out distractions, you must learn to be comfortable in stillness. Many distractions arise from an unconscious desire to escape discomfort, whether it's boredom, uncertainty, or the fear of not being productive enough. But the discomfort is where the real work happens. It is in the quiet spaces, free from distractions, that new ideas emerge, insights deepen, and transformation begins. When you cut out distractions, you give yourself the gift of presence, being fully here, fully engaged, fully aware. This process requires honesty. It means recognizing which habits, people, or thoughts are not serving your evolution. It may involve setting boundaries both with others and with yourself. But every time you choose to say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to yourself. You are reinforcing the message that your focus, your energy, and your time are sacred, and as you strengthen this inner commitment, distractions lose their grip on you. The most powerful version of yourself exists in the moments when your attention is undivided. When you are fully present, your energy becomes a force that can shape reality. You enter a state of flow where ideas, actions, and intentions align effortlessly. But this state cannot be reached when your attention is scattered. It can only be cultivated by creating space that is free from distractions and filled with conscious intent. In the end, cutting out distractions is not about deprivation, it's about liberation. It's about reclaiming your mind, your time, and your life. When you stop giving your energy to things that don't matter, you unlock the potential to focus on what does. And in that focus, you rediscover the clarity, purpose, and power that have been within you all along. You hold the power to shape your experience moment by moment through the thoughts you think, the emotions you embody, and the choices you make. Reality is not something fixed or imposed upon you. It is fluid, continuously influenced by your inner world. What you focus on, what you believe, and how you feel are not just passive reflections of what's around you. They are the very forces that construct your reality. Every thought carries energy, every emotion generates momentum, and every intention plants the seeds of what you experience next. The world you see is filtered through the lens of your mind. When your thoughts are rooted in fear, limitation, or lack, your reality reflects those states back to you. You notice obstacles more than opportunities, struggle more than ease, and separation instead of connection. But when you shift your thoughts toward abundance, possibility, and empowerment, the very fabric of your reality begins to change. New paths open, synchronicities unfold, and life begins to mirror the elevated state you carry within. The outer world is a projection of your inner world. This truth is both liberating and challenging because it means you cannot wait for your external circumstances to change before you feel differently. You must first change within. If you wait for things to improve, you remain trapped in the illusion that your power lies outside of you. But when you understand that your reality is a reflection of your energy, you realize that the key to transformation lies in your hands right now. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are not just reactions, they are the building blocks of your experience. Creation begins in the mind long before it manifests in the physical world. Every dream you have, every vision you hold, and every goal you set begins as an idea. But it's not enough to think about what you want, you must embody it. You must feel it as if it's already here. Align your actions with your desires and believe in the possibility of it. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, you enter into harmony with the reality you want to create. You begin to live as if what you seek is already yours, and in doing so, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you want to be. Many people give away their creative power by focusing on what they don't want. They replay past failures in their minds, worry about future problems, or dwell on what is lacking in their lives. But what you focus on expands. If your energy is invested in fear or doubt, you end up reinforcing those states. Creation works both ways. Just as you can manifest joy, abundance, and growth, you can also unintentionally create more struggle if your energy is misaligned. Your reality follows the path of your most consistent thoughts and emotions, so the question is, what are you creating today? You are not at the mercy of circumstances. Even when things seem beyond your control, you still have the power to choose how you respond. And that choice, your ability to decide how you think, feel, and act, shapes what comes next. This is the essence of being a creator, not that you control every event, but that you control your state of being. From that state, you influence the direction of your life, drawing experiences that match your vibration. When you shift your inner state, your outer world begins to rearrange itself in ways that reflect the new you. This process is not about forcing outcomes or manipulating life to fit your expectations. Creation is not a matter of willpower, it is a matter of alignment. When you are in alignment with your highest self, reality flows effortlessly. You attract people, situations, and opportunities that resonate with your energy without needing to chase them. The more you trust in your creative power, the less you rely on control, and the more life unfolds in harmony with your deepest intentions. To be the creator of your reality means taking responsibility for your life. It means understanding that you are not a victim of circumstances, but a participant in every experience you encounter. It means letting go of blame, releasing limiting beliefs, and stepping into the awareness that your thoughts, emotions, and actions have immense power. Every day you are creating, whether you realize it or not. The question is not whether you are creating, but whether you are creating consciously or unconsciously. The beauty of this truth is that change can begin at any moment. You don't need to wait for permission, approval, or the perfect conditions. All you need is the awareness that you are the source of your experience. And with that awareness, you can begin to create a new reality, one that reflects the fullness of who you are and the possibilities that live within you. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's a signal, a teacher, and an opportunity. Growth does not come from staying within the familiar. It emerges from the edge of your comfort zone, where uncertainty, challenge, and discomfort reside. These moments that feel uncomfortable are the thresholds of transformation. They're not meant to be avoided, but embraced, because discomfort is the force that breaks old patterns and invites you to step into a higher version of yourself. Growth requires tension. Just as a muscle must be challenged with resistance to become stronger, your mind, emotions, and spirit need discomfort to evolve. Without friction, there is no movement forward. If you always avoid what feels hard or uncomfortable, you remain stagnant, locked in familiar cycles. Discomfort serves as the doorway to the unknown. And only by stepping through that door, and you discover new strengths, perspectives, and capabilities you didn't know you had. The discomfort you experience when pursuing something meaningful is not a sign that you are failing. It's proof that you are changing. It is evidence that you are shedding old ways of being, making space for something new to emerge. Change, by its nature, is disruptive. Your mind and body naturally resist it because they crave certainty and safety. But real growth demands that you let go of the need for comfort and instead trust in the process of becoming. Growth is uncomfortable because it requires you to release the familiar, even when the familiar no longer serves you. The mind often associates discomfort with danger, triggering fear, doubt, and resistance. But discomfort is not the same as harm. It is an invitation to lean in, to explore, and to push beyond your self imposed limits. When you avoid discomfort, you deny yourself the chance to build resilience. But when you meet it with curiosity and acceptance, you realize that discomfort is temporary, while the growth it brings lasts. Every time you endure discomfort with awareness, you expand your capacity to handle life's challenges with grace. You become stronger, more capable, and more at ease in situations that once felt overwhelming. Many people wait until conditions are perfect to pursue growth. They wait until they feel ready or until the fear disappears. But growth doesn't wait. It happens precisely in those moments when things feel uncertain, messy, and difficult. The discomfort you experience along the way is part of the process. There's no shortcut around it. Growth requires you to stay with the discomfort, to sit in the tension between who you are and who you're becoming. It requires patience, persistence, and trust that the struggle is shaping you into something more. The most meaningful growth comes from the challenges you're willing to face, not avoid. Whether it's emotional discomfort, physical hardship, or mental strain, each time you confront difficulty, you train yourself to grow through it rather than shrink from it. You learn that discomfort is not a barrier, but a guidepost pointing you toward areas where you need to stretch, learn, or heal. Over time, the things that once felt overwhelming become manageable, and what was once uncomfortable becomes familiar. This is the essence of evolution. What once seemed impossible eventually becomes second nature. Discomfort strips away what is unauthentic, leaving only what is real. It reveals the truth of who you are when there is no place to hide. In those moments of discomfort, your ego's defenses crumble, and you are invited to meet yourself in a raw and honest way. This is where true growth happens. Not in perfection, but in the messy, uncomfortable, and uncertain places. It is in these moments that you discover your capacity to adapt, to persevere, and to rise. The key is not to avoid discomfort, but to reframe how you see it. Instead of viewing it as a threat, see it as a signal that you are on the right path. When discomfort arises, know that it is shaping you, sharpening you, and calling you forward. Growth does not happen by accident. It happens when you have the courage to lean into discomfort, trusting that what lies on the other side is worth the temporary struggle. Discomfort is not the end. It's the beginning of something greater. It is the price of transformation and the path to becoming all that you are meant to be. Consistency is the bridge between intention and transformation. It's not enough to set a goal or envision a change. You must show up day after day, aligning your actions with that vision. True progress isn't born from occasional bursts of effort, but from sustained commitment over time. Consistency refines, strengthens, and solidifies your growth, ensuring that each step forward builds upon the last. Even when results aren't immediately visible, the energy you invest compounds beneath the surface, creating momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. The path to mastery is not glamorous. It often feels repetitive, tedious, and unremarkable. But the very essence of consistency lies in embracing these small, seemingly mundane actions. Each moment of practice, each repetition is a brick in the foundation of your future. Transformation happens incrementally. It's the result of showing up even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching, and even when progress feels invisible. This is the essence of personal evolution, committing to the process, not just the outcome. Consistency requires patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, it's easy to become discouraged when change doesn't happen quickly. But true change is subtle. It emerges not in grand leaps, but in small daily shifts that compound over time. Just as water can carve through stone with persistence, your steady efforts shape the reality you seek. The key is to trust the process, knowing that the work you do today matters, even if you can't yet see the full impact. Every action taken in alignment with your intention brings you closer to the person you are becoming. There will be days when motivation fades, and the mind offers countless excuses to give up or postpone. This is where consistency becomes a practice of discipline and self-trust. Motivation is fleeting, but commitment sustains you. Each time you honor your commitment, even when it feels difficult, you strengthen your inner resolve. You build trust in yourself, proving that you can rely on your actions, regardless of external circumstances. Consistency transforms effort into habit, and habit into identity. The more consistent you align with your goals, the more natural it becomes to embody the qualities and outcomes you seek. Consistency also helps rewire the mind and body. Every action sends a signal to your brain, reinforcing specific neural pathways. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger these connections become until they eventually form a new default state. This is how new habits are built, through repeated action over and over until they become part of who you are. Consistency isn't just about doing, it's about becoming. It's the process through which change is integrated into your identity, shaping how you think, feel, and act on a fundamental level. What makes consistency so powerful is that it aligns with the law of momentum. In the beginning, progress may feel slow, like trying to push a heavy object uphill, but each effort adds force, building momentum until the process becomes easier, smoother, and more natural. Eventually, what once felt difficult becomes effortless. Success isn't achieved overnight. And so the result of cumulative effort that gains strength over time. And once momentum is on your side, consistency becomes a force that carries you forward, even when motivation wanes. Consistency also acts as a safeguard against distractions and setbacks. Life will inevitably bring challenges, temptations, and moments of doubt. But when you are consistent, you cultivate resilience. You build an inner rhythm that carries you through tough times, ensuring that temporary disruptions don't derail your progress. Consistency anchors, providing stability amidst uncertainty and chaos. It allows you to stay connected to your purpose even when the path feels unclear or difficult to navigate. Ultimately, consistency is an act of self-respect. It is a way of honoring the promises you make to yourself. Each time you show up, even in small ways, you affirm that your goals, growth, and well-being are worth the effort. The world may not reward you immediately, but the transformation happening within is undeniable through consistency. You become the architect of your life, building a reality that reflects your deepest intentions and highest potential. Consistency is not perfection. There will be missteps, off days, and moments of struggle. But what matters is not that you never falter. It's that you keep returning to the path. With each return, you strengthen your commitment, ensuring that the setbacks become part of the journey rather than the end of it. Over time, the small, consistent efforts that once felt insignificant will reveal themselves as the foundation of something extraordinary. Consistency is the alchemy that turns intention into reality, effort into mastery, and dreams into a life lived fully. Let this be a reminder. Life is happening right now. Stop wasting your time on things that don't matter. The only person you need to focus on is yourself. When you commit to your own growth, the world around you will begin to change. It always starts within.